Today's reading is all about the goal that you are about to reach. So if you are interested in finding out exactly what that is and what you should know about it, then stay tuned for these messages. We have 3 piles to choose from in today's reading, and they go as such. This card represents pile number 1. This card represents pile number 2. This card represents pile number 3. If you already know exactly which pile is calling out to you, then you can go into the description box down below and click on the timestamp that you need. But if you are not 100% sure how you should go about picking the right pile, then some of my recommendations would be to first try and get yourself as present and mindful as possible. And to do that, you may want to tune out any noises or distractions, so get yourself to a quiet place if you can. Also, taking a few deep breaths and focusing on your breathing, closing your eyes as well, that may help. Just getting yourself to that really present and centered place is going to allow you to hear your intuition a lot more clearly. When you open your eyes again, look at the piles and see what you are feeling inside your body. Are you hearing something? Are you seeing something? Maybe there is a pull, a sensation that you feel. Trust your intuitive nudge and follow it. But as I also always say, please don't forget to use your discernment as you are listening to these general messages. And having said all of that, let's jump into it. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 1. My name is Helen and I am so excited to do this reading for you today. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your energy with me. And thank you also for any support that you have shown me or this channel. I am so grateful. But yeah, let's get straight to it. So you chose this card over here, and we have some pre-prepared oracle cards. We're going to take a look at those in just a bit. I first want to see what I am picking up on this card intuitively. Now this says awakening and breakthrough, and one of the first things that I noticed was this Leo symbol that is on the card here. I kind of get the sense that you have come to some sort of conclusions or have some sort of understanding, and it seems to do a lot with who you are or what you are meant to be doing. There is something that you have realized. I feel like it's some sort of bigger, deeper sort of insight that you have come to understand. I feel like because of it, there are certain shifts that are starting to happen around you and also within what you are initiating or what sort of energy you are putting out there. The latter part seems to be something that you are not necessarily even controlling that much, or that you are doing anything deliberately differently. It seems that because of this realization or understanding that you have come to, you are vibrating on a different energetic level or on a different frequency. And because of it, you are starting to repel certain things and attract certain other things. I feel that whatever this discovery or understanding is, it is giving you more boldness in doing certain things that you want to bring about, or being open to more possibilities as well. Because I feel like maybe before you weren't sure whether you could have something. Maybe you couldn't visualize or imagine some of these things that you were secretly hoping for in your heart of hearts. Maybe you couldn't imagine those coming about or how they could ever manifest. But because of this shift that has occurred, you are starting to realize how much more you are able to actually play a part in some of these things coming about, and that you don't have to wait around for certain situations to be perfect or certain conditions to be presented to you, that you actually can do some things as well, like bring those things about yourself or start the process at least. And I also feel that some of you may have quite recently discovered either some form of religion or some form of spiritual practice or belief system. And I feel like it's almost this rabbit hole that you have gone into and that you are exploring and wanting to find out more about, and possibly are deciding to, or have decided to, start living your life in accordance with as well. Or there's something about implementing some of these beliefs or some of these practices or rituals into your day-to-day life, into your lifestyle, and making them a part of how you live your life. So it's not just about, reading and absorbing this information, but it's actually embodying it as well. That seems to fill you with more of this belief or sense of faith in things. So yeah, that's really what I feel here, pile number one. But as I said, this is just the intuitive part. Okay, I definitely want to say as well that some of you are in a place right now where you almost need to, I feel like it's this urge or this need to just be with yourself and to minimize the noises and the other external stimulants around you. So you could be in more of an isolated space right now where you just don't have the capacity to socialize as much, be as active as you maybe have been in previous months. There's something about the process of slowing down and really focusing on what is going on with you and trying to set some things on track in your life. And it's a really personal endeavor or process. So I feel like there isn't that much room for other people to be involved in it. And so yeah, you could be spending more time on your own at this time. But anyway, as I said, this is just the intuitive part. So we are going to look at these oracle cards next to get a clearer sense of what it is that you are experiencing right now, what it is that you are currently going through. So hopefully as you listen to these messages, it should be more easy for you to understand whether this pile is yours or not. Okay, we have the subconscious. We have sacred space. We have structure and Saturn. Night and vision. It's always so interesting to me and funny at the same time when these oracle cards portray a very similar sort of energy to what I am picking up on the card that you chose intuitively. And even though I do this setup very often in my readings, it doesn't cease to surprise me every single time that happens, because I don't know what cards are coming out in the oracle card part. I sort of choose these cards blindly or intuitively, and so it's just, yeah, it's such a cool thing to see. But anyway, I'm going to try and keep this compact and not start repeating myself too much, because there are a lot of overlaps with the energy that we have already been talking about. So starting off with the first card, which is the subconscious, it is clear that at this time you are diving deep into some of your shadows, some of these more hidden aspects, or trying to get in touch with the part of you that you are not aware of, and trying to figure out what sort of impulses are maybe driving you, and how you could break some of those patterns, or how you could lessen the influence of some of those things so that you wouldn't go about your life so blindly. And I mean, we all have these blind spots and we can't really get rid of those completely, because it's the subconscious, and however many times you dive into your subconscious, there are still going to be things that are kind of unreachable. So it's this ongoing process, but it feels like you are really in the thick of it right now. Also, this sacred space is hinting at you, as I said, being a bit more isolated at this time and keeping more to yourself, because this process that you are going through, as I said, it feels very personal. It feels like it's something that is profound and that you have to do for yourself. So you can't really invite other people to be a part of it. And because of it, it seems like you are really focusing on allocating this time and making it a priority to really get in touch with yourself, to get in touch with your feelings, your intuition, again, that subconscious influence within you, or to really try and understand yourself on a deeper level. And with the sacred space, some of you may also be creating altars, or I'm getting the message of an altar. So maybe some of you are creating an altar space as well to honor your lineage or your ancestors, or just a god or goddess or anyone that you may have discovered for yourself recently, because again, that message of religion or spirituality becoming a part of your reality now, like that was coming through as well. And of course, I'm not saying that that's the case for all of you, but that's definitely the case for some of you. Now, we also have this Saturn and structure card. It's interesting that we're getting this Saturnian energy, because it does feel like you are going about this process in a rather methodical or practical way, and you're taking it very seriously. And it does seem like you are trying to, again, have this hands-on approach where you are actually making some changes. You are restructuring your life. And even if it's in one life area only, or whether it is in many life areas, it's something that is going to have long-term implications, I feel, because with this Saturnian energy, there is always the element of time that is at play. And I feel like you are trying to organize your life more, or set some sort of logic to how you live your life and why you do the things that you do. And I also feel like there is this element of cutting things off or eliminating things, especially when you cannot rationalize to yourself, or you cannot explain to yourself why something is in your life, or why you are doing certain things that you are doing. So it almost feels like you are trying to cut off this blind influence or this blind impulse. And if it doesn't make sense to you to keep doing that thing, then I feel like you are kind of like rather detached about it, or you were able to eliminate it quite easily at this time. Now, we also have this Knight card coming out. And so again, this to me is speaking of this slowing down and possibly putting things on hold, especially when it comes to the external life and socializing and doing all of these things that that we do for fun, that we do for pleasure, that we do for entertainment. And I'm not saying that you are completely ignoring any sort of stimulants, but I do feel that you have definitely toned them down, and you have lessened, again, how much of your time you spend on those things, because your focus seems to be so heavily on this sort of inner transformation that you are going through, or this shift. And finally, we have this card of vision. And so it does seem like you are in this space right now where you are more imaginative, where you are allowing this inner creativity to come out. And again, that there is this connection that I feel between you and your inner landscape of some kind, but also this more spiritual or otherworldly energy, and trying to connect the two, trying to bring that into your reality somehow. And I also feel with this Knight and vision that some of you could be doing these things in secret, so you may actually not really divulge what you are experiencing, what sort of breakthroughs you are getting. So again, this very personal aspect coming through here, but also there could be something about your dreams and the sort of visions that you get at nighttime when you are asleep. So there could be some profound insights or realizations that are also occurring that way. And maybe some of you have actually started to pay more attention to your dreams. Maybe you have started a dream journal, or you know, maybe you have started meditating on your dreams or even looking into the meanings of your dreams, like digging into that sort of realm as well. But yeah, in any case, all of these cards seem to hint at you being in this kind of a hermit's cave or rabbit hole at this time, and focusing on the things that you don't know, or the things that are in the shadows, and trying to bring those to life, trying to make sense of yourself more. So if that is something that you recognize and resonate with, pile number 1, then this is very likely your reading. And stay tuned, because now we are going to take a look at some tarot cards and actually dive into what it is that you are achieving, or what sort of goal you are about to reach. So that is what we are going to look at first, before diving into this a bit more. Okay. Wow, so pile number 1, we have the World card, the Nine of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles, with the Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck coming out in reverse. I'm also going to point out some of the zodiac signs that are coming through here, in case you resonate with them. So obviously we had Leo coming through first, so you may have certain Leo placements. But we have heavy Saturnian energy coming through, both with the Saturn card and the World card. So both the signs of Capricorn and Aquarius could be significant for you. We also have Virgo coming out, and just Earth energy in general with the Page. So pretty much Capricorn is the most prevalent sign here, but also again, Aquarius or Gemini with the Nine of Swords could be important too. Okay, so pile number 1. I am getting the message here that you are about to break through some sort of mental block that you have had for quite some time. And the reason why I say that you have had it for quite some time is because this Nine of Swords and this Knight of Pentacles came out together. And so the Nine of Swords is all of the anxieties, the fears, the worries, and sort of the subconscious blocks that we have that can really paralyze us. And the Knight of Coins here is giving me the energy of time, because the Knight of Coins is the slowest of all of the knights, and there is a lot of hesitation and a lot of overthinking that can also occur when this card comes out. And so both of these cards together are telling me that there has been some sort of fears, some sort of doubts, or some sort of thing in your mind that has kept you going over something again and again and again, and keeping you from actually taking any physical action. So it kind of feels like this loop. Also, the reason why I feel like it's something that has been holding you back from doing anything is because of this underlying energy, which is the Page of Pentacles coming out in reverse. And again, it kind of feels like being very protective or overly cautious, and feeling like you don't have all of the information, or like you don't exactly know what to do or what to start off with. It's kind of a lost sort of energy, or a rather untethered sort of energy coming through here. And I also feel that because this is the Page of Coins, so it's the sort of the beginner stage that is coming through here, you haven't been able to grasp something, or you haven't been able to really focus yourself on anything specific. And because of that, there has been this sort of a standstill energy, I do feel. Now, with you getting the World card, which is the last major arcana in tarot, it's such a powerful card because it is talking about culminations and endings, but these are the sort of endings that actually take you forward or elevate you in some sense. And it does hint at you being done, finally done with some sort of chapter in your life that has been possibly going on again for quite some time. And now that this World card is here, you are definitely stepping through that portal and entering a new stage of life. And I do feel that it is very heavily tied to whatever these fears have been that have been holding you back, or whatever these scary scenarios have been that you have been battling with within yourself, that have kept you going a bit slow. Now, this Knight of Coins is also saying that you are able to actually start making some physical or practical moves as you are understanding where some of these fears or doubts or mental blocks are coming from. And as you realize that they don't actually need to have that much power over you, you are finally able to make progress and start doing something to move yourself forward. But again, I want to emphasize that because we are getting the Knight of Coins, this is going to be a slow and steady sort of progress. It's not going to be this fast and jumping from A to Z sort of thing. This is you starting to take these little steps and doing things day by day, starting to implement and practice and adopt some of these new ways of seeing things, or again, these realizations, and putting them to use, but in a like a well thought through manner. So yeah, I really like that we are getting the Knight of Coins here, because it's saying that this thing is going to be sustainable. This new sort of lifestyle that you are building, or this vision that you are starting to bring to life as a result of realizing what is true for you, or what is meant for you, or who you really are, like getting to these bigger sort of questions, or these bigger sort of answers, I should say. Because of that, you seem to be actually taking your time and working in a steady but dedicated way, and making these changes that actually have the potential to last. Now, let's also see what is it that you should know about this goal that you are achieving. Okay, whoa. We are getting some major arcanas here, and let's see what this one is. Okay, so we have the Three of Wands coming out in reverse. We have the Devil in reverse and the Sun card with the Hermit in reverse. I actually really love that we got the Hermit here, because again, it is further confirmation that that energy of you being in a hermit's cave is definitely present here. But zodiac sign wise, we have heavy Capricorn present. It's official now. With the Devil, there is Capricorn here. We have more Virgo with Hermit. We have more Leo with the Sun, and we have Aries with the Three of Wands. Okay, so I want to start off with the Devil and the Three of Wands coming out in reverse. So I feel like what you need to know about this goal that you are achieving is that there are going to be some things that you have been working towards that maybe are even quite well established, that you are going to have to let go of, or at least redefine your level of attachment to those things. Because with the Devil here especially, there are certain attachments or certain things that maybe you do feel rather heavily tied to, or like there is something compelling about them. And again, with this Three of Wands, it feels like a course correction to me. So some of the things that maybe you have invested quite a lot in, but that aren't really aligned with you, or that you now feel are like don't ring as true as they did before. Some of those things are possibly going to be redefined in your life, or you are going to have to redefine them for yourself. Because we also have the Hermit card coming out as the underlying energy here. And with it coming out in reverse, it is saying that this period of being in the Hermit's cave and isolating yourself and well, not maybe necessarily like fully isolating yourself, but just going through this personal process, that period of time is going to come to an end, and you are going to have to rejoin life at one point. And with all of this new insight, all of this knowledge that you have, that is most likely going to challenge some of the beliefs or some of the existing structures and dynamics in your life. There is most likely going to be a period of integrating those sort of newfound understandings, or this new way of being with the with some of these old elements from your life as well. But we are getting the Sun card here, and the Sun card is the most positive, most happy of all of the major arcana cards, of all of tarot really. And so it is essentially setting you free and bringing you closer to your inner child, to the truest, most authentic version of you. And as you get more aligned with that, you are able to experience life on a whole other level as well, or the amount of joy and fulfillment that you can experience as a result is something completely different to the surface level joy of achieving something that other people have told you that you need to achieve. And just the last thing I want to say is that with both the Hermit and the Sun card, there is a very good chance that you are put in this position of a role model to people, or where you are going to be more seen, more visible. People are going to kind of pay more attention to you, pay more attention to what it is that you are saying and how you are living your life. And that sort of level of attention, it may be slightly uncomfortable at first, but I also feel that it's something that you can quickly get accustomed to once you start integrating more of this authentic knowledge and insight. But anyway, that is that. Let us close the reading out with some of these oracle cards as well, and let's see what sort of advice or support Spirit has for you regarding this reading. Okay, that was really quick. So we have, it's all in divine order. Allow. How can you relax into the flow and go with the current of life? So see, I do feel that everything that you are experiencing right now, all of the things that you are going through, all of all of these realizations, they are happening in accordance with your soul sort of blueprint, or the path that you are meant to go down. So this is a beautiful confirmation, and I feel that it is especially important for those of you who may be questioning or who may be having a hard time with some of these changes. And maybe this is more of a specific message, but for some of you, if there are things that you are being denied, if there are things that are leaving your life, or where you are facing certain rejections, I feel like it's definitely meant to happen. So don't take it to heart, because I feel like it's divine correction that is happening. Now we also have your true tribe can't show up until you do. How can you show more of the real you? Wow, this is very much on the nose, because you seem to be in that process where you are getting closer to your true self. And I mean, I know that there are so many readings and so many books and everything, like it's such a widely talked about thing, like being your true self and connecting to your authentic form and all of that. But it's truly an everlasting process. Like, we are constantly getting closer to our true self and constantly finding out more about ourselves and constantly realigning to who we are truly meant to be. It's not this one-time thing that once you have this awakening, then you are there and you are done and you just live your life like in peace and harmony until the day you die. Like, it's not that sort of thing. We are constantly finding out more and like redefining ourselves to ourselves. So yeah, I feel like you are just in one of those sort of processes right now. And at the bottom of the deck, we have trust your faith, dive into the unfolding journey. What is your faith asking of you? So a lot of these cards are talking about you being in this process and things sort of shifting and happening, and you needing to go with that process, trust that process and surrender to it. and just believe that all of these things that are happening and these changes that you are going through, they are happening for a reason, and they are all leading you somewhere. And especially with the Sun card coming out over here too, and I mean the World and all of these very, very big major arcana cards, it's clear that you are being led to some place where you can feel more at peace and feel more joy and feel more happy and content with yourself and your life. So yeah, beautiful stuff, pile number one. I hope that you liked this reading, or that, you know, it was fun for you to watch. And if that is the case, by the way, if you are still here, let me see, leave me a little egg, a little egg emoji in the comment section, so that I would know that you watched this thing all the way through, that this reading gave you something useful. I always love connecting with you in the comment section, so I really, really hope to see you there. But I also hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, more insight and fun. But in the meantime, please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 2. My name is Helen, and I am so very grateful that you have found your way to me and that you are watching this reading right now. Thank you so much for being here, and also thank you for any likes, comments, subscribes, anything like that. It really helps me and this channel out immensely, so thank you so much. But yeah, enough babbling. Let's get into the cards. So I'm going to get to the pre-prepared oracle cards in a bit. I just want to feel my way through the card that you chose intuitively and see what is coming through here. So pile 2, you chose this Courage and Justice card. And I do feel that at this time, you are in a space where you are having to do the right thing or stand up for the right thing, even if it is somewhat like challenging or maybe even scary for some of you. And it could bring about some opposition, somewhat of a standoff energy between you and someone else, I feel like. But it's almost like you feel this need to do what you feel is right, even if it is difficult. I also feel that some of you could be facing a decision of some kind. And maybe you are weighing the pros and cons, trying to go about making the decision in a very logical or rational way, trying to consider the facts and not really get bogged down by the emotions of it. But I do get this sense, pile 2, that you are in a position where you have to act, like you have to do something. You can't postpone it or get away from it or avoid it. It's something that you have to do, but it feels like there is something about like doing the right thing that is really testing you in some sense, or like you are having to overcome something within yourself in order to do that. Maybe the reason why you are trying to push away the emotional side or not allow yourself to be swayed by your emotions is because you do feel very heavily a certain way about this thing that you are trying to decide upon, or that you are trying to do something about. But you know that what you feel towards this thing and what is actually right are two different things in this instance. Maybe some of you are also standing up for someone else. So it could be that the difficulty in handling the situation or doing what's right has something to do with another person or someone else's situation or someone else's drama. I almost want to say predicament. So yeah, it's like some of you are not even necessarily fighting your own battles, but you're fighting someone else's battles, or you are put in a position where you have to do that for some reason. But anyway, as I said, this is simply the intuitive part that I'm feeling here, pile 2. And if you are still not really sure whether this is your pile or not, then stick around for the oracle cards, because these are going to tell us what it is that you are actually experiencing or going through right now. And as you listen to these messages, it should be fairly obvious or more easy for you to discern whether this is your pile or not. Okay, so we have bees, protection, strength, waterproof, and story. Okay, pile number 2. This may be more of a specific sort of reading or storyline, so I'm just gonna put it out there that I'm not sure how many people are going to resonate with this. But let's just start from the beginning. We have this bees card, and honestly, pretty much the only thing that I feel here is that this situation has a lot of different people involved, or there are so many energies at play and a lot of this buzzing that is going around, which is making it really noisy. It's making it difficult to have your voice stand out or have the truth stand out. So yeah, this just feels like it's some sort of commotion or some sort of buzzing, and like there is high energy, high tension that is involved in the situation. Now, I also feel that there is a connection between the bees card and this story card. And it does seem like everyone is spinning their own tale here. Like there are all these different versions of what actually happened or what the truth is. And it's so difficult to separate the truth or the facts from everyone's own subjective version of what took place or what actually happened. And also with both of these cards, there could be certain people who may try and sway you or who may try and manipulate you with their story, or like, I almost feel this sense of like trying to whisper in your ear or trying to like get close to you somehow in order to get their version to stand out. But the interesting thing here is that we have this waterproof card, and it does feel like you are very much in a position where you are trying to avoid letting those stories get to you, or where you're trying to be as neutral and detached as possible. So like this waterproof card, you're not allowing things to get to you. And with this protection card, this to me feels like you were trying to protect the truth, like you were trying to stand for what is ultimately the right thing here, or some sort of morality that you are trying to uphold or that you're trying to protect. And interestingly, with both of these cards, I feel very heavy connection to the scales energy here, or where you are trying to sort of be the neutral party and again not allow your emotions to get involved here. And finally we have this dignified and strength card. One of the sentences that I heard as I was looking at this card is that the truth is on your side. So I don't know, maybe that is meaningful to someone out there, but ultimately the energy coming off this card is that this is kind of a confirmation that for some reason you are in a position of authority, or where you get to decide the outcome, or where you get to decide the course of action on something. It's almost like you have the final word, or even if it's not necessarily like the end all be all, it's like you have a lot of power about how things are going to be dealt with, or what the final course of action is going to be. So this is really mostly all that I'm feeling with this strength card here, that you are in a position of strength and in a position of power or sway over how something plays out. And that may be the reason why there is all of this noise and all of this commotion around you, and everyone trying to get your attention, or everyone trying to get you to see their story or see their side of things. So as I said, pile number 2, I don't know what is going on with this scenario. It feels very specific. So if you don't resonate with any of this, if this doesn't sound familiar to you, then you may want to try another pile. But I have to give what is coming through here, even if it doesn't make sense to me. So that's So that's that. If this is making sense to you and you know exactly what this whole situation is about and this is resonating for you, then stay tuned, because we are now going to look at what sort of goal are you about to reach. And then we're going to get more into the details of what you should know about it, but let's see what it is. Okay. So pile number 2, a lot of major arcana cards coming through. We have the Hierophant, the Death card, the Page of Swords, and the Fool. And I'm going to point out some of the zodiac signs in case you resonate with them. So that may be further confirmation that this is your pile. First off, obviously Libra with the scales energy, that could be significant for you. But we have Taurus and Scorpio coming out here with these major arcana. We also have Uranus with the Fool card, so Aquarius could be significant. And finally, we have air sign energy in general, so Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius could all be significant. So the energy that I'm feeling here is that you are going to be able to break down some sort of system or regulation or norm or contract or way of doing things that has definitely outlived its purpose or its time. And it's like you are shaking something up that is really like old and stagnant and just outmoded or outdated. We have this Hierophant and Death card here. It feels like some sort of tradition or some sort of norm is coming to an end here. Or I almost want to say like a slow death of something. So it feels like there has been this process, this norm or regulation has been slowly crumbling or coming apart. But I also feel that there has been a certain resistance to that, or like this breaking apart has been really long. And with the Page of Swords here, it feels like you are the one who is actually able to bring about some sort of systemic change or actually make a difference in some sense. And the interesting thing is that I feel like you are like standing against something that is so much bigger than you, because this Page of Swords, it definitely feels like this is talking about your energy. It almost is giving me the vibe of like David versus Goliath. I don't know why, but that is what I want to say. It's almost like you are going against something that is so established, so secure, so big. And even though, again, with this Death card, it feels like it has been faulty for some time, or like it has been slowly but surely getting more and more unstable, you seem to be almost like this final nudge that is able to break through this wall or this barrier, or it feels like you are this breath of fresh air, you know, like you are able to finally cut through something that that doesn't have a place in the future anymore, you know. So you are this change maker, and it feels like you are about to really like shake something up or make some waves. And also the reason why I say that is because the underlying energy is the Fool. So you seem to be the person who instigates some sort of bigger new beginning, bringing about things starting to be approached in a whole new way. Or it's like you are someone who is going to bring about a new reality of some kind. And again, it feels like it is a new reality, not just for you, but for like a bigger group of people. So for some of you, this may be like a work scenario, you know, maybe there is, or maybe there has been some sort of corruption, and now it feels like your voice or the truth that you kind of stand up for or that you vocalize is somehow going to initiate this long overdue change that needs to happen, and almost like bringing about this new order of things, or again initiating it, bringing about the start of a new order being created. But like for others of you, this may be a relationship dynamic of some kind. It may be your own relationship dynamic, or it may be someone else's relationship dynamic. You know, I don't know, maybe you are a lawyer or something. But in any case, these were just examples, right? So, you know, just to give you a bit of a context in how this may actualize. But yeah, that is something, that is the goal that you seem to be achieving. It feels like you are able to stand up to something that a lot of people have feared standing up to. And because of that, your voice is actually going to make a difference, I feel. Anyway, let's also see what you should know about this goal that you are reaching. Okay. So we have the Four of Swords in reverse, the Four of Coins, the Three of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. So a lot of air sign energy coming through now. We have heavy Libra, actually, with the Three of Swords and the Four of Swords. We have Gemini with the Nine of Swords, and we have Capricorn with the Four of Coins. Okay, so let's talk through these cards. And I know that a lot of you are very familiar with tarot. So the Three of Swords, the Nine of Swords, they can be slightly jarring cards, or cards that people get a bit stressed or anxious when they see. But don't worry, we're going to talk about them. The main message that I'm feeling here is that I feel like there are going to be people who are not at all happy with what it is that you are doing and what sort of changes you are bringing about. So this Four of Coins and Three of Swords, I do feel that like there are going to be people, there's going to be resistance to keeping on to the old way of doing things, or fighting for how things have always been done. And especially with the Four of Coins, I do get the sense that this resistance is most likely going to come from people who have had it the best and in this old system, who have some sort of benefits or some sort of cushy circumstances or conditions that they are going to have to let go of in this new system or this new order of things. And so you're most likely going to face resistance from people who have held some sort of authority as well, or who have been in positions of power. And I feel like it's important to just be aware of that there is going to be backlash and possibly people trying to like undermine you or something like that. And as you like, if you know that beforehand, I feel like this is one of those things where like Spirit is just giving you the heads up so that you wouldn't be deterred by that sort of reaction from some people. Because we have this Nine of Swords at the bottom of the deck, and this is telling me that there is a chance for you to start questioning whether what you are doing is the right thing to do, or where your thoughts or fears or doubts could start running amok. And that could be something that like slows down the process, or just, again, like there's something that may instill fear in you. Most likely these people who are not going to be happy with the changes. But again, I feel like it's important not to allow yourself to get deterred by it. Because also with the Four of Coins, I do feel this message that it is important for you to, again, to hold your ground and to really protect what it is that you know needs to happen. And also with the Four of Swords in reverse, I do feel that there may be a bit of a turbulent time, especially in the beginning when the old system starts crumbling down, or when true change starts happening. And that could be uncomfortable or just tiring to deal with. And there may be certain instances where you may want to like pull away, or where you may want to like hide or not deal with the situation. But for some reason, and I don't know why this is, most likely you will know why you are in that position. But it almost feels like you are such a needed voice in this situation. I almost want to say like you are a mascot for this change, or like you have to be in the front line of what is happening. And so, you know, just again, just knowing that this resistance is going to happen, and this this doubtful energy may come about, and this restlessness that you may potentially have to deal with as well. Just knowing that all of those things are a potential, it kind of allows you to be prepared, to at least mentally be prepared, because again, we are getting so many of these swords cards. It seems to be mainly the sort of the mental aspect of going through that change and experiencing like backlash from people. So I feel like if you are able to bring the whole situation down to your heart space, or like staying true to why you are doing this thing, or why you initiated this thing in the first place, or why this change needs to happen, like bringing it back to the why or the core of that thing, and again acting from the heart space of what you truly believe to be the right thing. I feel like that is something that may help you to stay on course here. Anyway, pile number 2. I truly hope that this reading is making sense to someone out there. But let's close the reading out with some last oracle card messages, and these messages are going to be either advice or support from spirit regarding this whole reading. So let's see what they want you to know. Okay, sorry, it's so difficult to actually shuffle these cards because they are so humongous that yeah, it's not the most pleasant experience. But anyway, so let's look at the cards that you got. We have the collective field is impacting you, unseen forces in action. How can you relinquish control of the situation that feels blocked? So yeah, see, I find it interesting that this card is mentioning the collective field, because it's bringing me back to this whole notion of some sort of bigger group of people that are involved in this, or there are so many voices that are a part of this whole situation. And so yeah, it feels like you are kind of being swarmed by all of these voices. And I also feel that this card is kind of reminding you that not everything is in your control, and some of these things and some of these reactions or actions by other people are something that you can't really manage, you can't control. And so just again, bringing this healthy sense of detachment, or reminding yourself of what you can control and what you can't control, and trying to relinquish that need to manage certain things, especially when you can't really manage them. I feel like that may be something healthy. We also have rest, renew, recharge. What does your body crave and need right now? So yeah, this may be a really important reminder to allow yourself time to just take it easy and to recharge your batteries, especially because we have this 4 of Swords in reverse here too, which may also be a reminder to find the time to kind of shut everything out and to recenter yourself, come back to yourself, and really sit with what you are feeling, what your body is needing at this time. You know, really tuning into what your physical vessel also is requiring. So that may be something that helps as well. And we also have come together, we need each other. Where have you been separating yourself or pushing against others and the world? So, you know, this whole reading, it feels like there are a lot of people around you, or at least who are tied to this situation, but it feels like whatever this thing is that you are fighting for, it almost feels like it's a solo sort of mission that you are on. And this card seems to remind you to reach out to the people that you trust, the people that you love, and the people that are really there for you when you are struggling. So just not forgetting about the support system that is around you. And I do feel like this support system is completely separate from whatever this thing is that you are dealing with. So almost like being able to get yourself out of that world, out of that little paradigm, and stepping into this whole other world where, you know, where you have these beautiful connections and support and recharging your batteries there. I feel like that may be also something that really helps. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck we have, don't run from the darkness, embrace your shadow side. What aspect of yourself have you been afraid to look at or address? I do feel like whatever this whole situation is that you are dealing with, that there is something difficult about it, and it may bring about certain emotions in you as well that are more difficult to handle. So I feel like Spirit is simply asking you to pay attention, to look at what is coming up for you or what you are feeling and how certain situations are making you feel. Because it does seem like you are very much in this position right now where you are trying to think about things logically and not get overly involved with your emotions or with how things make you feel. But I do feel that paying attention to your emotions and simply like observing them, not allowing them to run the show, but simply observing them could be very valuable here too. Pile number 2, I don't even know what to say because I am really, really confused. But I hope that if you made it all the way to this point here, that it made sense to you and that you got something useful from this. If that is the case, by the way, and if you are still here, leave me a little rose emoji in the comment section so that I would know that you are here, that you watched this thing all the way through, and that this reading spoke to you in some way. I would love to see you and connect with you in the comment section, and I would also love to see you back here on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. But in the meantime, please take care of yourselves, pile 2, and bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 3. My name is Helen and I am so excited to jump into these messages and look at what is going to be ahead for you, what sort of goal you are reaching. So thank you so much for any support, any likes, comments, subscribes, all of that. I truly appreciate it, and thank you so much for spending this time with me. But let's jump straight to the cards because that's what you are here. So I'm going to first feel my way through the card that you chose and see what I'm picking up on it intuitively. So pile number 3, you chose the Strength and Determination card. And it does seem like at this time, you could be in a space where you are being challenged or where you are facing certain obstacles, and it's almost like your commitment to a vision, a goal, or a dream of some kind is being challenged. And so it feels like it's not really easy to keep the faith at this time. It's not easy to keep yourself motivated and keep going, but it feels like that is what is being required of you right now. We also have this Taurus archetype that is on this card over here. Taurus being this loyal and this fixed earth sign, it's making me think that there is something that you are very much fixated on. It's something that you seem to really hold on to, and even if things are against you, you are not allowing that to deter you. And I mean, it's by no means an easy thing to experience, and I do feel that at times your faith is wavering. There may be periods or instances, or I even want to say moments, where you are really asking yourself whether it should be this hard, whether it should be this challenging to keep going after this thing. But then I feel like very quickly you kind of talk yourself out of that hole and keep your eye on the prize. I feel like there could be certain things where you are almost forced to try different approaches, because I get this sense, pile number 3, that you may be someone who very easily gets stuck in places, or maybe not necessarily stuck, but I feel like if you find something that works, then you tend to just keep repeating that thing. And you are kind of very happy doing that and very happy just staying in that space. But I feel like it does prevent you at times from, experimenting or exploring and trying new ways of doing things that may actually get you results even faster or or be an even more effective way for you. And so sometimes you may really miss out on that because you are just so happy doing what works or doing what has worked. And I feel like this may be one of those times where you are, again, tested on, pushed out of your comfort zone so that you would try something new, so that you would have to leave this comfort zone and come to the realization of something new, something that may work even better than what you have been doing up to this point. I also just want to say that I'm feeling a heavy sort of stubbornness coming through here too. So, you know, even though you seem to be pushed out of your comfort zone or pushed to do something in a new way, you seem to be in a position where you are quite stubborn, or where you may try and force your way through these obstacles anyway. So yeah, this sort of unyielding energy was kind of coming through here too. But anyway, this is just the intuitive part, okay? So if you are not 100% sold on this being your reading, then stay tuned for these oracle card messages, because these are going to describe what is going on with you right now, what you are experiencing. So as you listen to these messages, it should be a lot more easy for you to understand whether this is your pile or not. We have endurance, we have mimicry, fifth house and passion, routine, and fate. Let's just start off from the beginning. We have this endurance card, and it did really make me chuckle, because I just love how some of these synchronicities come about in these oracle cards and the messages that I feel intuitively. Again, this is just a very concrete confirmation that you are being tested and that you are being put through certain challenges to see just how committed you truly are to this goal or this vision of yours. And now the interesting thing though is that we have this mimicry card, and the message that I got from this is that whatever this thing is that you are doing, it seems to be something that has a lot of competition, or where there are a lot of people doing the same thing. And I'm not saying that everyone is doing things exactly like you are doing, because obviously everyone is different and no one can do what you do exactly the way that you do it. So there is always something unique to it. But with mimicry, it just feels like it is a very saturated sort of field or area that you are operating in, and it could be difficult to stand out. Now, the thing that is interesting is that we also have this fifth house and passion card. So clearly, this thing that you are working on, that you are being so relentless in, has something to do with your passions, with your creativity, with what you are trying to create or bring about. Maybe this is some sort of personal expression of yours. Maybe this is like an idea that you are trying to bring to life. Maybe this is some sort of business project, or maybe it's even a blog or a media sort of platform of some kind that you are creating. But whatever the case, it definitely seems to be coming from your sacral chakra. It seems to be something that you are wanting to create, something that is coming from this very primal, fertile place within you. And because it's coming from that sort of place, I do feel that it's very much what you are meant to be doing. I also want to say that because of this fate card. So on the one hand, I do feel that this fate is hinting at you being destined to do this thing, you being destined to put energy into it, to express yourself in that manner or through that medium, whatever that is for you. So it's not a coincidence that you feel so strongly about it. But I also want to say that because of this routine card, which again just feels to be a confirmation of you kind of doing things in the same way, or being a bit stuck in a very repetitive sort of cycle, that this fate is also talking about, again, the universe sort of stepping in and course correcting a bit, or pushing you to move in a slightly new direction, or to at least like pivot. So again, it does seem like whatever this thing is that you are doing and all of these obstacles that you are facing, they are not put on your path to get you to move in a whole other direction or to indicate that you are not doing the right thing, but they are put in place so that you could start like re-examining and almost like going back to the drawing board, which is why I absolutely love the illustration of this card. You are being forced to go back to the drawing board and come up with a new solution, come up with a new approach of going about this, and really allowing your creativity to fly and to roam free, so that it would be easier for you to find your authentic voice and really stand out amidst the crowd. Yeah, in essence, I feel like all of this is happening so that you could reach this place more quickly, so that it wouldn't be such a lengthy process of you attaining what you are meant to attain. So if this makes sense to you, pile number 3, this felt rather straightforward, I have to say. So if this spoke to you and your current circumstances, then definitely stay tuned, because now we get to the fun part. We get to what sort of goal are you reaching? And as we get this part out, we are then going to also look at more details about that goal. But let's start off and see what is it that you are reaching. Okay, so pile number 3. The cards that you got are the 3 of Cups, Judgment, and the Knight of Cups, with the Page of Swords as the underlying energy. So I'm going to point out the zodiac signs that are coming through here the heaviest, in case you resonate with them. So I have to point out Taurus, because that was coming out first. So Taurus could be an important sign, but we also have Cancer with the 3 of Cups. We have Pisces with the Knight of Cups, and we have Scorpio with Judgment. So we actually have all water signs coming out here. So any of these 3 water signs could be significant. They could be your rising, your moon, your sun sign. And we also have some air energy coming through at the bottom of the deck as well. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius could be significant too. Okay, so pile number 3. I feel like I'm going to start off with the Judgment card and the Page of Swords. I feel like there is some sort of understanding or breakthrough information that you are going to get, or this realization that occurs, that is going to allow you to try out a different approach. So I feel like there is this, again, there is this understanding or this realization, this aha moment that occurs where you try this new idea that you get, and as you implement it, I feel like there is a breakthrough moment, or where you realize, or where you recognize that that is the right thing for you, or where there is this familiar sort of feeling, like this recognition that that's what you are meant to be doing here. And I feel like as you get that clarity, or as you get that breakthrough, you are going to start attracting the right sort of people, the right sort of audience. Because for some of you, this thing that you are doing is definitely something that is very public, or where people can follow your success, or where they can follow your journey. And I do feel that it's going to speak to people in a more authentic way. So it almost feels like this realization, or this new approach that you are going to try, is going to speak to people on a truly emotional or sort of intimate level. It's going to stir something emotional in them. And I feel like they're going to start believing in your cause, or believing in you, because this Knight of Cups is feeling like, again, like a following, or people starting to believe in what it is that you do. And with this 3 of Cups, it just feels like a bigger group of people who are celebrating you, or who are recognizing you, and sort of wanting to be a part of that journey, wanting to be a part of your energy. And I also feel that this Knight of Cups, even though, as I said, it feels more strongly that it's talking about the sort of the other people and the response that you are going to be bringing about in them, it also feels like, as a result of this breakthrough with this Judgment card. This Knight of Cups feels like it's also talking about you getting in touch with something deeper in you, where you realize like this more unique nuance or aspect about you, and how you can put more of this authenticity or more of this like truly vulnerable part of you into what it is that you are doing. And that is going to make this thing that you are doing more resonant for people. It's going to make it more true, and it's going to make it more alluring. Yeah, it almost feels like you are going to find your like true voice, or something that can like set you apart. But anyway, let's also look at what you should know about achieving this goal, or reaching this goal. Okay, so we have the Six of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the Knight of Wands coming out in reverse, with the Queen of Wands as the underlying energy. Sign-wise, we have Aquarius with the Six of Swords, we have Leo with the Five of Wands, and Sagittarius with the Knight of Wands, and we have Aries with the Queen of Wands. Okay, so this feels like a really straightforward sort of message, so I'm just going to try and like breeze through it and not get stuck talking too long about these cards, which is something that I tend to do. But we have the Six of Swords and we have the Five of Wands. The main thing that I feel here, pile number 3, is that as you ascend, or as you grow, as you reach this next level with the Six of Swords here, just be prepared that you are going to face more criticism, that you are going to face more backlash from people, because you are entering a bigger arena in essence. And as you become more visible or more popular or more public, there are also going to be more people who have access to what it is that you do, and who just always have something negative to say, right? So it kind of comes with the territory. And so I just feel like this is Spirit's way of kind of giving you a heads up, and to be prepared for that, to be aware of it, and to not allow that to mess with your progress or to mess with what it is that you are doing. Because the Knight of Wands in reverse can, like, on the one hand, I feel like it's talking about this this sort of attitude of like people being against you, or people being negative or trying to like tear you down. But on the other hand, I feel like it's talking about not allowing that to sap that joy or enthusiasm out of you. It does take time, and it can be difficult to grow this thicker skin where people's negativity and all of this like projection doesn't get to you. Obviously it depends on the person, but it may be something that like doesn't ever completely go away. Like you are still to some degree or some level going to be affected by like people's negativity or something like that. But I just feel like it's not going to get you to question your own value, or to question the value of what it is that you are doing. Because remember, we have this underlying energy here too, and this is a very beautiful, it's a powerhouse of an energy, the Queen of Wands. And so it does, on the one hand, feel like this is where you are going to be going. This is the sort of energy that you are starting to embody more and more as you face this this new sort of playground that you are stepping into, this bigger arena that you are stepping into. But it is also kind of like an advice, because this is saying that the more you can back yourself, the more you can do things that remind you of what you are worth, and the more you can do things that make you feel good about yourself, that make you feel secure in who you are, and the more you can focus on the positivity and the warmth, the easier it is for you to tune out that negativity and to not allow it to get under your skin. So I do feel that this Queen of Wands is kind of a twofold message, and I definitely feel that this Queen of Wands is talking about you, regardless of what your gender is. Like, don't get stuck in the gender of these cards. It just feels like it's like this whole progress is taking you to this place where you found your voice, and you know where you belong, and you know who you are. And of course, I'm not saying that like you can't have changes to that, or that you can't discover new caveats or new aspects of yourself. But it just feels like there is going to be this place where you feel really secure or really sure of yourself. So yeah, I absolutely love that for you, pile number 3. But we are going to close the reading out with a few oracle cards. So let's see what sort of support or advice Spirit has for you regarding this reading. Okay, so it's so difficult to shuffle these cards because they are just like abnormally large. But anyway, we have deep inward journey. You'll be rewarded for the work. How can you alchemize your fear? Wow. So I love the message that you'll be rewarded for your work. Yeah, it does seem like this whole process that you are in right now, where you are facing this resistance or these obstacles and challenges, it is teaching you so much, and it's taking you to a really, really valuable place. Yeah, I feel like this is just Spirit's way of, again, confirming that everything that is happening for a reason, and that you shouldn't take it as like Spirit saying that you are not where you are meant to be or something like that. So again, you know, not allowing these things to deter you from following that path. And we also have, you can radically change your results by shifting your beliefs. What belief is limiting you? So yeah, this is taking me back to this Page of Swords energy. It's all about just it's basically down to an idea. And as soon as something shifts in how you perceive something, as soon as you think of a new idea or a new method or approach, like you can radically change the results. And so that's what seems to be occurring here. At the bottom of the deck, we have everyone is on their own journey. How can you focus more on your own path? Oh my goodness. I feel like this is the most perfect card that we could have gotten to end the reading with. I mean, this is such a valuable reminder that even if you are in a field that is heavily saturated and where there are a lot of people doing the same thing, no one is you. And again, reminding you that you are on your own personal journey, and it isn't really constructive to compare yourself to anyone or to put yourself down because someone else is further along than you are. You are not even in the same race. So really, as the card says, try and focus on your own path, on your own journey, and focus on how you can do that to the best of your ability. So pile number 3, thank you so much for being here. I really, really enjoy delivering these messages to you because I feel like there is so much positivity in them, and you have so much to look forward to. And I hope that you feel the same way. I hope that you had fun listening to these messages. If you are still here, by the way, leave me a paintbrush emoji in the comment section. Or if... is there a paintbrush emoji? I'm not sure. If there isn't, I will leave something else on the screen, and whatever that thing is, leave that emoji in the comment section so that I would know that you are here, that you watched this thing all the way through, and that you got something useful from this. But as always, I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. But in the meantime, please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.